Let's go. The ship to do it. This calms him down a bit, and they continue to make their way toward the rebel base, maybe after leaving a few walkers behind to keep the speeders busy. Meanwhile, the lookouts report that the laser is wrecked, but the walkers are still coming, so it's not over yet. Unfortunately, we don't get that. What we do get is disappointing. Next is one of the greatest moments in Star Wars history. The First Order Empire walkers close in on the rebel base, but then Luke Skywalker walks into the command center. When I saw this, I thought, heck yeah, he's finally here. He's got in his wake swing after lifting it out of the water and flew to Red Hoth to save everyone. This is awesome. He walks over to Leia and hands her a golden necklace with dice on it. I think they were hanging on the rearview mirror in the Falcon. He then turns to go face Kylo and friends, and Leia tells him to be careful. He says he will, then walks by C-3PO, who wonders why he's there. And I wondered too. They did say the exits were blocked, but then I guess he found a way through. He looks at C-3PO, winks at him before moving on. Kylo Ben sees him walking toward the Imperial Armada and tells him to stop. Luke proudly stands his ground in front of Ben, then tells them to fire. They shoot so many blasts that the ground around Luke is choked with red dust. But once it clears, we see the Luke standing there unharmed, and he brushes his shoulder off. Heck yeah. We have already seen that members of the Skywalker clan can survive in places that no one else can. So this makes sense. Kylo Ben then decides to take him on himself. He lands and charges toward Luke, and then comes to a stop in front of him and turns on his lightsaber. Luke turns on his, and it's blue. When I saw this, I just thought that he just made another one. He had the time. Then Kylo Ben turns his foot, and that causes the ground underneath to turn from white to red. Luke moves his foot in a similar way, and nothing happens. Oh, maybe he's just stepping lightly. Then Luke says he's sorry for everything that happened, and Kylo Ben says, I'll bet you are. And now I get to have my revenge. Luke responds by saying something like, if you strike me down, I will always be with you, just like your father. Leia lunges forward and swings at Luke. Skywalker dodges his blade like Neo from the Matrix, Kylo swings again and again, and Luke ducks and dodges until one of Kylo's slashes goes right through him. I gasped at first, then saw that Luke was perfectly fine. Okay, I thought. He was able to survive the AT-AT lasers. Maybe he could survive this too. But then Kylo stabs his saber through Luke's chest and out the other side. Luke is a hologram. Then we see Luke hovering over a rock in a separate seated position. So you're telling me that he used the Force to send a holographic projection of himself from the silly green island planet to the Red Hoth, talk to Leia, and fight Kylo Ben. But like many things in this movie, this is disappointing, especially after he dies. You heard me. Luke dies in this movie. Don't believe me? Then let's go through it step by step. As Luke stops making this Force hologram, we see him land back on the rock he was hovering above. His eyelids are getting heavy. He looks at the very Tatooine-like sun's setting and smiles a very peaceful smile. He then closes his eyes, and then we see him disappear, just like Yoda did when he died, and Obi-Wan did when he died. So Luke is now dead. Yes, he could come back as a Force ghost, but it won't be the same. If you guys wanted him to die, then why not have him actually go there and fight Kylo and die that way? It would have been a great end for him, and it would make him a martyr, helping keep the rebellion alive. We don't get that. What we do get, it's disappointing. Heck, this is... I don't remember what it says. This is where... This is what... This whole movie is disappointing. Anyway, after Luke dies, we see that the Ice Foxes have found an exit that is caved in, but there's a hole big enough for them to get out. Leia and friends wonder how they can get out through that small hole. But then Rey, after blowing up all the TIE fighters in an awesome dogfight that takes place in a cave filled with red crystal all over, somehow figures out where the Leia and friends are and lifts all the rocks out of the way of the exit so that they can escape. Maybe she could sense them through the Force, but I did not see a scene of her doing that. Anyway, the point is that they get away. They get away. Luke does have an awesome speech he gives to Kylo Ben before he dies, and that calls back to when he was training Rey. Our most emo antagonist says something like, "It doesn't matter what you do, old man. The rebellion is finished. We'll get in there and we'll wipe them out." Luke then says, "Amazing. Every word in that sentence is wrong. They will escape, and the rebellion will live on. See you around, kid." And then he disappears. Kylo and his friends do eventually make it through the shield door with that laser that I wish had been destroyed. I don't know how I described it earlier, but it's too late. Leia, Rey, Poe, Finn, Rose, Chewie, 3PO, R2, and the rest of the rebels and the Porgs who are building nests in the Falcon are long gone. Kylo sees the gold necklace dice and picks it up and disappears like a force hologram. Well, yeah, it disappears like a force hologram that Luke did. Like force hologram Luke did. Why is it fake? Hollow Luke gave it to Leia because it meant something to her and Han. First of all, she would not leave it there. And second of all, this means Luke had to focus on making it as well as making his hologram self. Talk about focusing on the wrong stuff. Why didn't Luke just give Rey the dice and tell her to give them to Leia? That she would know what they meant. This whole fake dice thing was so unnecessary. And after that, we see that Rey has the Jedi texts on the Falcon. So Yoda and Luke's destroying that tree was pointless. And that's about it. The Falcon flies off and the credits roll. And to be honest, guys, the only excitement I have for the next movie is to see how JJ is going to retcon this stuff. Man, this movie is disappointing. There's so many things that should not have been in it. It's like taking a car that looks amazing and putting a heavy weights inside it. It'll still look great, but now its performance suffers. To summarize, the best things about this movie is how it looks, how it sounds, and when the story and characters are being amazing. Unfortunately, the worst things about the movie, aka when the story and characters are doing things they shouldn't be doing, outweigh when they do things they should be doing. We did not need Holdo keeping things from Poe for no reason. We did not need you don't need to go to the casino planet. That could have easily been a commercial or something. A story stormtroopers betting on the rapid horse races. We do not need the weirdness of space chase with those crappy excuses for why the Imperial fleet could not catch up to the last rebel ships. We did not need speeders that could not do anything to the walkers, and we did not need Luke making a hologram to fight Kylo, and then instead of going to the planet himself with all this crap, with all this crap in the movie, this thing gets a good 7 out of 10. It's all above average, and awesome things happen. It's above average, and awesome things happen, but there are so many things in here that mess it up. My advice to you guys is to lose the director and writing team. They almost totally messed things up. We did not need stuff like Snoke getting killed with no backstory or Luke dying after whatever that was. Man, this could have been so much better than it was. I can totally understand why people want this taken out of the canon story. It is crap. Well, that's about it for this review. I'm off to go talk about other things like my original comic Power Play and why I don't like Iron Man 3. See you guys next time, and check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt. Well, that's that. I didn't realize, sometimes you just gotta sit down and handle that, take care of the things like you don't need to. Because basically that's what I was doing. I was just trying to, I wrote out the script. I'm glad I wrote out the script because I got all the points in. But then trying to do PowerPoint, the script, after writing the script, then doing PowerPoint, that took so much time. It's just crazy. Now, I do have a script about Iron Man 3, and I will, of course, put that out. I will do videos like this for that as well, because then it'll just be done. I can get back to work on Marco. My gosh, I really been working on Marco. I really been working on movie characters. It's been months. So yeah, we're gonna get back to me working on movie characters. Continue working on comics. Continue working on things. We'll keep working on review scripts, and then just do it this way, and that'll make things better. And I'll find books to review too. That I've definitely found some books that are not as bad as Joey Pig's, not as good. Joey Pig's, that's the one. There's some that aren't as bad as Joey Pig's, but there's definitely some that are not as good as the Joey Pig's either. Those books do have merit in my. I've seen them. I understand that they do actually have, some good things in them. Not my favorite, but they have some good things in them. This movie though is just ridiculous, So I'm looking forward to seeing them do better. See you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt. Gotta go and get these things all done so I can get more space on this phone so I can make more videos.